Hi there and welcome to our latest self-guided learning video, this time on building and using video templates. A lot of the functionality in our video editing tool overlaps with our static template editor, so please do go back and watch our static templates video if you haven't yet. We will not be covering the elements from the static template editor again in this video. Instead, we'll be looking at what's different, what's additional about the video editor. We'll be building a video template. In fact, we'll be working from an adaptation of a static template here. We'll fine tune our video through the various different video editing features and animation features built into Pencil, and then we'll have a go at using that template. So without any further ado, we're going to jump straight on into our template library. Here you can see I've got a template already made. This is based on my previous static template with a couple of little changes. If you are using a static template and you want to convert to video, we use our three-dot menu and we simply press convert to video, which I've already done on this one here. I'm going to go in and edit my template, and straight away you will see some things that are very similar to the static template editor and some things that are quite different. The first thing that I'm going to draw your attention to is, as this is a video template, we now have a timeline. So we can split our videos up into individual scenes. I'm just going to stick with one scene right now, although I'll come back and add another scene in just a second. We can also now add animations to any asset that is on the canvas. We can add transitions between our scenes, which again I'll show you when I add another scene in just a second. And we can now add music, and from our assets we can add video. Just as an example of that functionality, this is where I'm going to add my extra scene. I'm just going to pop another scene in here. I'm going to add my video asset in the same way as I added images in our static session. Usually I would spend some time cropping and perfecting this, but this is just to show you how to add a video, so I'm not going to get it exactly right. Once I select this video, I have a few new tools. I can adjust video speed and duration. Increasing that duration will also increase, there we go, the length of the scene. And up at the top we've got the option to trim video, so I can select the part of the video that I want to use for my purpose. This is, let's just move myself out of the way. This is just a demo. Here I'm not trying to create an absolutely perfect video template right now. I can also then add in transitions between my scenes, so I can select that with this little icon between my scenes, or I can select from the transitions menu on the right. When I hover over any of these pre-built transitions, I'll get a little preview of how that's going to look. So let's just pop a wipe right in, and I can preview the video at any time from the timeline. We saw that transition go really effectively. What I can also add, I'm going to go back to my first scene, is some simple pre-built animations. I do this by selecting the asset that I want to animate, and I select animations. Again, you can preview these just by hovering over, and I'm going to pop a pop animation on each of these. And then on my text fields, I'm going to add from this combo animations menu a typewriter effect. And there we go. Again, I can go back and preview this at any point. I can also slide over the timeline to see the timings a bit better. And there we go. So what we are going to do to start with in this session is have a go at converting your static template from our previous video to a video template. add some pre-built animations to some of your elements, add an extra scene, change the order of the scenes if you need to, and add a transition between your scenes. Spend about 10 minutes on that and pause the video, and then when you come back we'll get on with fine-tuning and in particular honing our animations really tightly. So where we should now be is we've got a very simple animated template. It might not be perfect yet, that's absolutely fine. We're now going to perfect them. So I'm going to jump back in. For the purposes of this demo, I'm just going to leave that video untouched. As I said before, we can make some fine tuning on this by selecting our video and using our trim and speed options, but I'm going to focus more right now on animation. So I've got my pre-built animations, and what's great here is that at the moment, let's take a look, these are playing from the start of the scene. If I want to add a delay to this, or I want to change the speed of them, I just need to select my item again, go to animations, select the animation that I'm applying, and then I've got those 3 dots. Here I can change the duration, or I can add a delay to my animation. I'm going to do that on this subheader just by adding a 1 second delay to ensure that the subheader fills in after the header. At any point I can check how this is doing just by sliding over my timeline or by pressing play at the bottom. And there we go, that's worked nicely. I'm going to do the same with my pop animations up here. So I'm going to add a delay again of 1 second at a time to each of these pops so that they pop in one after another. Nice and simple. And again, we can go back and check. Oh, that was silly of me. I need to put a 2 second delay on this pop just to stagger them properly. There we go. I can see that's going to work. Beautiful. Now, there is another way that we can fine tune our animations. If you are familiar with other animation editing software, you will know all about keyframes, and Pencil does have 4 types of keyframe. So we go into our scenes, and I'm going to find the layer that I want to animate. In this case, it's already selected, it's my logo, and we can apply translation, scale, rotation, or opacity keyframes on here. So I'm going to move my slider to where I want my animations to start, and I'm just going to add a scale and opacity animation in here. So we're going to start this off on 0% scale, and we're going to start it off on 0% opacity, and I just want this over the course of, let's say, 2.5 seconds, picked arbitrarily, up to 100, 100, 100. You'll see again as I fade this back, we've got that scaling and that opacity changing exactly as I wanted in my timeline. I can just, as one extra element here, add some ease. So we've got some pre-built ease effects. I'm going to add cubic Bezier 3, and you'll just see that that adds a little bit of smoothness to that transition. So your next activity is going to be fine-tuning your animations, so either set delays and durations on your pre-built animations, or if you're confident using keyframes, so if you've used keyframes before, have a go at using that more advanced approach in Pencil. If you haven't already added a video file and you've got a video file, please try adding one and trim and adjust the speed. Keep adding additional scenes if you need, with transitions between them. And my advice here to get this really right is to try to replicate a real ad format from your brand if you can. Have a go at that for, I reckon, probably about 15 minutes on this one to get it absolutely right, and pause the video and we'll rejoin in a minute to use our templates. Welcome back. So we should now have a decent video template in place. We're going to get on next with actually using that template to generate a new ad. So I'm going to go back to the platform. I'm in my template library. Obviously I've done a very rushed job of creating my video template there, so I'm actually going to use another one that I've previously made as an example of use of templates. To use our template, we can go into our creative editor and select our template, or from our template library we can just select use template. That will bring us straight in to our creative generation tool. I'm going to collapse the timeline just to give us a bit more space at this point and just show you our ad. I've got a mixture of pre-built animations and keyframes in this template. So I'm going to say generate an ad for Pencil Training's self-guided learning videos. We're getting meta here. Targeted at ad copy writers looking to improve their use of LLMs. We'll submit that. We should get a concept back very quickly. There we go, master AI ad copy, that's looking good. I like it. I'll now be asked for assets to populate this. So I'm going to open my asset panel. In this instance, I'm just going to go with another one of my pencil people. But if I did have a video in this template, I would also need to select any particular video files that I wanted. There we go. Pencil's now going to come back to me with a storyboard which will include the image to be used and all of the lines of copy to go into my ad. So that's a header, a subheader, and 4 benefits. There we go, let's preview that. Yep, we've got our 4 benefits, we've got a header, we've got a subheader, it's looking good. I'm going to edit that in Canvas. And we're just going to press play and have a look. There we go. Needs a little bit of formatting on those text fields for benefits, but that's very, very, very easily resolved. So let's just sort that out. And I've got a great new ad for Pencil Training. So for you, the last activity is very much the same. Once you've got your video template, use the creative editor to generate an ad using the chat feature. You can also use the floating toolbars, which I showed you in the static template video, to amend text imagery as you need and make multiple edits as you need in the way that I just changed those benefits fields. And you can also have a go at creating multiple different variations. So reuse that template, try out different themes for your ads, see how they turn out differently. Have a go at that for about 10 minutes, pause the video, and then we'll come back to wrap up at the end. So where we should now be is you've got a great video template, you've had a go at using it, you've generated a few ads. What we're going to come to in the next video is going to be generating in much more bulk using our feed variation tool, but I'm not going to spoil that too much now. We've gone through the editor, we've built some video templates, we've used some video templates. If you need more help and resources on this, please do check out our help centre and our other learning videos, including our short form videos. And happy creating. Thank you.